This is the Conscious Hour. And have you ever wondered why we're always in wars? And every time you watch the news, we're promoting the fact that Israel is the country that respects human rights, and Israel isn't the problem, Iran's a problem, or Syria was a problem, or Afghanistan was a problem, or Vietnam was a problem. We're living in a bubble. Remember Hollywood? Remember Disney World, Disneyland, and all the movies? We're all living in this psyop. It's a psychological operation to keep us contained in the United States, thinking that we're the nation that brings peace, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness around the world. This is a lady from England, Britain, somewhere. I don't know exactly where she's from, but it's an interview with Professor Morandi. And Professor Morandi is a professor. He doesn't make up shit. He reports and talks about the truth. But listen to the conversation, and you can see this in Western media. Anytime they get somebody like Piers Morgan at the start was so pro-Israel, and then he realized that later, it took him a long time, almost 2 years, that the Palestinians weren't the problem. But let's get into this one. I really want you to focus on this, and then I want you to do yourself a favor. Turn off the mainstream news. If you want news, go to YouTube. It's a great resource. I'm on YouTube. We've got over 500 and some videos up there, but you can watch news from around the world, and then you can really get a perspective of why living in the United States, you're living in a bubble, an artificial reality. That's why when you go to Europe and stuff, or you travel, you go, wow, these countries are really cool. You find something totally different than this vacuum you've been living in. It's a media blackout to keep perpetuating our old world way of doing business, which is waging wars, invading sovereign countries, and stealing their resources.
The proxy terrorist activity that Iran has been involved in for decades.
What are these
now.
Who are these terrorists?
Hamas, others arming Syria.
So Hezbollah you consider as a terrorist organization, right?
In part.
No. In part?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well,
is it a terrorist organization? Yeah.
In part.
Is it a terrorist
in the same way that the
not?
Republican movement in Northern Ireland was in part
No, in the same way that your government is a terrorist organization in part. Your government is a terrorist organization.
Is that your view?
That doesn't make sense.
Is that
Either
your view?
you're a terrorist or you're not.
No, organizations can be partly terroristic and partly political. You know that.
Just for your information,
Hezbollah
Hezbollah was created out of the Israeli invasion of Lebanon. It was a creation of the occupation. Just like the ANC was a terrorist organization, and Nelson Mandela was a terrorist according to your government standards at the time, Hezbollah was created when the Israelis invaded Lebanon and took Beirut.
But you do know, surely, as an academic, that organizations can be terroristic and political and have wings which are both, and social as well. The Republican movement in Ireland certainly did.
So you're saying that the political wing of Hezbollah is not a terrorist organization?
It has connections to a terrorist organization, yeah, but it operates on different levels.
So it's not a terrorist organization?
In part, it is.
Look, I know you don't want to answer the question. From our perspective, Hezbollah is a national liberation organization that has recovered the South Lebanon and saved Lebanon from Israeli occupation and colonization.
Okay.
And Hezbollah's sin is that it supports the Palestinian people. Hezbollah has been resisting the Israeli regime, and it opposes the regime and the ethnic cleansing and the genocide. Your government, your media supports the genocide. You like Israel, you like what they do, and you consider them to be in your camp. Obviously, we have huge differences because Hezbollah has not carried out mass slaughter, and Israel has. And your government supports despots, countries that have zero elections, but they're not regimes.
But Hezbollah did carry out mass firing of missiles into Israel as well, just to report a fact back at you.
Israel invaded Lebanon multiple times. It took Beirut, and Israel bombs intentionally apartment blocks in Lebanon. Just today, it destroyed...
This Hezbollah section is so revealing, man. She calls Hezbollah a terrorist organization. He asks, which part? She says, in part. He asks what that means. She says, organizations can be partly terroristic and partly political. And then he just goes, so is your government a terrorist organization in part? And she completely short circuits. Because he's right. If the standard is uses violence for political ends, then the UK and US are absolutely terrorist organizations in part. Iraq War, Libya, drone strikes, backing coups, arming Saudi Arabia while they bomb Yemen. Like, the body count isn't even close. Western governments have killed millions of people in the Middle East in the last 30 years. Hezbollah's entire existence is a response to Israeli occupation of Lebanon. It was created because Israel invaded, and it's a response to Israeli violence. That's just history. But in Western media, Hezbollah is the terrorist organization and Israel is the democracy. Even though Israel is the one bombing apartment buildings, even though Israel is the one carrying out assassinations, even though Israel is the one doing ethnic cleansing, and Hezbollah, which is defending Lebanese sovereignty, is the bad guy. It's genuinely insane, and you can see Fogarty struggling here because she knows on some level that the framing doesn't hold up. She tries the firing missiles into Israel line, and he immediately comes back with, Israel invaded Lebanon multiple times, took Beirut, bombs apartment blocks. And she's got nothing, because the facts are the facts. Israel is the aggressor. Hezbollah is the resistance. But Western media flips it because Israel is our ally and Hezbollah isn't. And this is the core of the whole thing. The West picks its dictators and its genocidal regimes based on who serves Western corporate and military interests. Saudi Arabia, no elections, beheads people, starves Yemen. But they're our ally, so they're fine. Israel, apartheid state, genociding Palestinians. But they're our ally, so they're a democracy. Iran has elections, supports Palestinian resistance, opposes Western domination, so they're the regime, the bad guys, the terrorists. It's not about human rights. It never was. It's about control. It's about oil. It's about military bases. It's about making sure no one in the Middle East can challenge US or European dominance. And people like Morandi, who actually know the history, who actually live there, are so dangerous to that narrative because they can call it out in real time. Let me know what you guys think about the Hezbollah framing, because this comes up.
And so this is exactly why you need to watch Conscious Hour, because I'm constantly allowing you to understand that you need to break away from this bubble that you live in. We have been ripped off. I was born in 52. We have been ripped off since I was born, fighting wars overseas, always based on lies, and spending hundreds of trillions of dollars. Imagine if that money was spent at home in the United States. We would have high-speed rail. We wouldn't have poverty. We wouldn't have slumlord conditions. We'd have people that would be manifesting their destiny because they'd all be being paid what I would call a livable wage so they can achieve their highest potential. Isn't that what God wants us to do? He gives us this gift of life, or Yahweh gives us this gift of life, and now he wants you to go out and procreate and build a better world. But no, we're in this cycle of death and destruction and greed the machine. And now it's time to end it, folks, or end the world. Take your pick. We can change it quickly. We just have to shut Israel down. We have to shut Donald Trump down. We have to disassemble the military-industrial complex. There's a whole new mission for them. And they'll even make more money. This is the Conscious Hour, folks. Please hit the like and share button. Please donate to the 501c3. I need to get some money in here to help some more people that are in need and build out this program so I can get more people involved. Educate, 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 because educated people create freedom, and we need our freedom. Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour.